The transfer portal is the biggest key to success when you're trying to rebuild and retool your roster and your program every year in college football 27 dynasties. And I got some keys, some secrets, some tips for you that's going to allow you to have a plan of attack and dominate the transfer portal season every single year. As always, like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell notification. Let's get into it. My best and my biggest secret, biggest tip will be at the end of the video. So stay tuned, stay all the way through. You don't want to miss it. Now let's talk about it. Stay away from the recommended tab. Guys, stay away from the tab that the CPU or the AI of the game is telling you, hey, here's what we recommend. Well, it's like, for example, when you're playing against the CPU, you're playing games, and it gives you the coaches suggestions. Stay away from that too, right? For me, nah, I've learned I have way more success when I'm picking plays because I've learned kind of the rhythm of the CPU. It feels like if I pick coach suggestions, you have a plan for it. You kind of know what I'm going to do because you're the one giving me the plays to run. But when I pick my plays, I pick my formations, I yield much better results and success, and I keep the CPU off balance. Right now, they got a game plan for things that they weren't game planning for. So it's the same thing in the transfer portal to me. It's simple. That recommended tab is what you want me to go after, CPU. You want to hoard all the top talent to yourselves. No, 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 no. We're not doing that, baby. No, I am going to go player hunting myself. And that's what you do. Either if you're on PS5 like me, I hit the triangle. I think it's triangle. You go to search and you can look through. Of course, if you should know this. You can go search per archetype for every position, minimal star, maximum star, and you can put their recruiting status, whether it's open, they're in their top 5, they're in their top 10, whatever, their recruiting interest or whatever, school interest, I think it is, and you can search for that. Or what I do, or and I've done both. I've used the recommended tab as kind of a let me see what's available, right? And you can sort. I will sort from the best to the worst, right? So I got the number one on the recommended tab, the highest ranked player that they recommend me to go after. I'll go look at those players, right? But nine times out of 10, right now, I'm going to either any state, and I'll go same thing. I want to see who's the best player in the country in the transfer portal from 1 to 2,000. And yeah, that's what I do. And then I just scroll down, right? And you see all the NIL information, all of that stuff. You see who's available, who's not, every bit of it. I'd rather do that to where then that allows me to find those kind of hidden gems on those diamonds in the rough that could really be impact players for your team. So, but you also what I do too is depending on the position. If I don't see if it's just too much going on, I'll go 3-star D tackle. And then I go find them and I go look and see. And you can sort by NIL because when you go to 3-star, it's a lot easier. You go to the star you're looking for, whichever one it is. If you're you big fish, you go big fish hunting, big game hunting, cool. You go to those 5 stars and 4 stars. But at the early parts of a rebuild, I'm sticking to the 3 stars and 2 stars. So I go to my 3 stars and I go ahead and I sort by NIL. I want to see what's the lowest amount of NIL, and then I go after those guys first because that allowed me to not burn through NIL. Because then you think about being able to take some of that NIL, which I can get to in just a second, and applying it somewhere else, right? So that's what I do. I stay away from the recommended tab. I go through I start with any state, then I work through the stars 5, 4, 3, 2. I don't go to 1 stars unless I'm absolutely desperate. And I search my position, right? So once I go to 3-star, okay, D tackle, quarterbacks, whatever, okay? And that's the key. So that goes into my next point. Do not panic once you get to weeks 3 and 4 and you're like, man, I still got a lot of positions that need taken care of. I lost a lot of guys in the portal. It's fine. I promise you it's fine. Because here's the thing. I know the game first came out, it's still a complaint right now that the CPU isn't, I think recruiting is better on the CPU part. I'm in much more. I'm even for 2 stars, guys. I'm in battles with the CPU. I feel like they're being a little bit more aggressive. But I know that the thing that key is development. They need to tweak that. EA needs to tweak that fast because the development for the CPU teams It's terrible. Heck, if you allow them to auto progress your players, they're not actually going to get better. Now, is that a way to make Dynasty more difficult for you? 100%. But I'm not cool with letting the CPU do that. And then my quarterback, who is inaccurate as all get out, right? He's super inaccurate. Dude couldn't hit the ocean if he fell off a yacht. Like, what are we doing? Right? If he's inaccurate, why are we bumping up his speed? He can't throw the ball accurately, CPU, but that's what they want. To make it harder on you. No. Now I will let him auto progress some players, but that's not the point. Like, yes. So for me, is don't trip, because once again, in real life, there's 2,000 plus players that will hit the portal at one time. There are guys who literally, Trinidad Chambliss, who's one of the best quarterbacks in the game, joined Ole Miss right before fall camp, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that, but he joined Ole Miss late in the process last year, right? Out of Ferris State. So this happens all the time where you have players who are. That's why I know college coaches and college recruiters, and they will always tweet out, guys, if you're gonna hit the portal, please have film, because you will be overlooked if you don't. If you got post your practice highlights, whatever, it's too. The supply overweighs the demand, right? So it's like you got all these players in there. Well, we're not demanding that many players. Like, teams are like, I got my guys, I'm good. Now you got players trying to go back to their school. So it is realistic. That's what I wanted to get to. Sorry about that. I wanted to paint that picture. It's realistic that, guys, once you get to weeks 3 and 4, there are players who are available that you wouldn't believe are available, even 3-stars. For example, it was in my Coastal Carolina rebuild. If you have not checked it out, if you're in the rebuilds, please go check it out. Go support that. In that rebuild, after year 1, we had Roquan Barber. All that type of stuff. Got to the portal because we got smacked in the conference championship game by like 3 touchdowns. I said, man, we might need to upgrade that quarterback. Go to the portal, find Dylan Raiola, former 5-star recruit. Started at Nebraska, right? I think he was at Georgia. I think he was committed to Georgia, jumped to Nebraska, and then he went to Oregon. And that's where he is currently right now. At the end of this season, my first year, I've done other rebuilds offline, and it's the same thing. He always is available for some reason, and they have him listed as a 3-star recruit. Week 4, I got him in week 3. No one offered him. So what? Week 3 and 4, I'm telling you guys, you can find yourselves some guys. Even some of the corners in my year 2, on year 2 of my CCU rebuild, I found them. They were 2-stars. I found them, and they're starters with like 70, almost 80 overalls, and they play good football. So yes, do not panic when it comes down to the portal. You'll absolutely be able to find some talent and some guys that can help your team. Now, the other thing I would say is use your NIL wisely. If your roster's in a good place, you can swing big for an impact player and dole out that 500 NIL or dynasty points if you want. For me, high school recruiting is all about getting developmental starters and young depth pieces that I can work with. Unless you're loading up on 4 and 5-stars, then yeah, you're going to find those impact freshmen. But 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get that out of 3-stars and 2-stars. So I go at the developmental backups that will eventually become starters. The portal for me is for impact starters. So use your NIL wisely come transfer portal time, because you'll be able to land a big fish. If you got your quarterback, let's say your offensive line is fine, your run game you can do with what you have, but let's say you're missing that one key wide receiver and there's a 4-star available. Hey, one of the biggest things is, does your deal breaker meet? If you are good on the deal breaker and you can offer him, give him the big bag. If that's your big swing, cool. Listen, at the end of the day, do not, going back to the recommended tab, don't let the CPU be like that snake oil car salesman trying to put you in a hoopty. All right, yeah, I may not have Tesla money, brother, but you better put me in an Altima or something. Give me a Pathfinder. You're trying to put me in a 1992 Honda Accord with 400,000 miles, brother. I'm not that bad off. All right, chill out. Like, that's what the CPU would do to you. Here's a 2-star. Here's a 1-star. Nah, brother, I want the 3 stars. Listen, All right. It's like taking a girl on a date the first time and you're in your young 20s and you listen, I don't have Ruth's Chris money right out the way, baby. All right, but we ain't going to McDonald's, I tell you that. We're not going to Mickey D's. Don't worry. If it's Red Lobster, deal with it right now. Just watch me build up and then we can get the Ruth's Chris in all these other places, right? So that's the key to me, guys. That's the key right there is knowing how to use your NIL wisely to really allow yourself to find those impact players in the portal. Because I promise you, QBs, corners, edge rush, you can find guys late. I promise you that. My best and my biggest tip to you as I get ready to close this thing out, go to the player leaving screen. After you try to negotiate or persuade your players, start clicking through other teams. Think about the positions you know you have to attack going into the transfer portal. What positions are you losing? Did you just lose a star defensive end because you don't meet his NIL request was too big and you didn't have the money to get him? Cool. You can go find other edge rushers to supplement what you were losing. But I promise you, you're going to see it here. You go through and you find the players. You go to their player card. It's going to show you what their skill caps are, everything. You already know once you go to their team page, to that team, and you see that their persuasion chance was very low or whatever the case may be. It's the lowest that they can persuade that player to return. Why are they transferring? You will see NIL, you'll see playing stop, you'll see their deal breaker. And if you meet that deal breaker, jot that name down. I'm telling you guys, it will change the way you recruit. Find yourself some guys that you believe you can go after, and then when you get to the actual transfer portal stage, go away from recommended tab, go to any state, sort it from first to best, or you can go to the schools, sort it alphabetically to where you see all the players from each team lined up, and you can find your guys. And you can find, okay, am I able to offer him? What's he asking for in NIL? I did that. I did a one with Western Michigan, I think it was, a Wyoming. And Austin Mack, who's supposed to be the backup for Alabama right now, because Keelan Russell's been named the starter, he's like a 3-star recruit. And I went because I was like, I need to upgrade at quarterback. Went through, and now look at the big schools: Bama, Michigan, Ohio State, Miami, Georgia. I go look at these schools, man. But I look at the small schools too, because the small schools always have at least 1 or 2 players that are good, and they typically leave like they do in real life to go to a bigger school, and whoever's going to offer them NIL and the opportunity. So that's what you do, guys. Go to the players leaving screen after you try to sort through your players and who you can persuade, who's willing to come back, and you've exhausted all your opportunities, and you see 0 at the top. Cool. Now let's click through these schools, and yeah, it might take a little time, but think about the schools you want to target. Go to the big fish first. Big fish are always losing players too, because now gone are the days of Bama having Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, Eddie Lacy, or whoever else, Josh Jacobs, and all these running backs, just 5 to 6 5-star running backs just sitting, right? Those days are gone. Gone are the days of having these 4 wide receivers like Bama with the 4 Lambos of Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, Devonta Smith, and Jalen Waddle, and they're all 4 staying there. No, guys are leaving in today's college football for bigger bags and bigger opportunities. That's just what it is. Yes, Ohio State has Jeremiah Smith and Chris Henry Jr. and Brandon Ennis. They're different, okay? Like, they're different. We'll see how things continue to shape out as Brian Hartline's no longer there. The point is, go look at these big schools because they typically have a lot of players that are willing to leave, especially for playing time. Playing time is the one. If you can offer them A+ or B+ at minimum, or B minimum, and they need let's say they need a C+. They want a C+. They want the chance to compete for a starting job in playing time. Go after that guy. Go after that player, because you're going to be able to land them, because you having an A+ and all they're asking for is a B- or a C+, you're going to, once you put that 50 recruiting hours on, it's going to throw you right to the top. So guys, listen, man, that's it right there. All right. Player screen, cycle through teams, find who's available, jot down, make a list even on paper, on your phone, position groups, team name, the school they're leaving, and go find them, right? Remember, you can find players late in the portal process. Do not panic. You'll be able to find 3 stars, maybe a 4-star or 2, but definitely be able to find some impact players. use your NIL wisely. Please use your NIL wisely throughout the high school recruiting process and going into the transfer portal. And remember, stay away from the recommended tab. It does nothing for you guys. But as always, man, I appreciate y'all tapping in. I need to bring another video. I got a passing video I'm working on that should be dropping in a couple days as well. And please, if you are into rebuilds, check out my Coastal Carolina rebuilds. I'm having a lot of fun with it and everything. We are balling right now in year 2, and the portal was a big way that we were able to do it. But as always, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that bell notification, all the good things, all the good vibes. I'm Coach Dame. I'll see y'all around the way.